It's finally here. 5 days away from week 0. It's CFB Prime. I'm Nino Brown. Shh. Blow the damn whistle.
Some of you in the room right now, you are where you are. You're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. Why? Because you never made a decision. There's those of you in this room. You already there. Your problem is this is stuff you don't want to give up to go on. Listen to me, pound for pound, any agent in the room, pound for pound, motivational speaker, pound for pound, entrepreneur, pound for pound, athlete, pound for pound, weightlifter, pound for pound, whatever you do, I guarantee you when you do it, nobody can do it like you do it. The problem is you don't hardly do it.
We back like a crack addict. It's week 0. CFB Prime. College football is here. We're going to talk about 4 games week 0. I'm going to leave it to my other half, KT, for the rest of the games week 0. He's going to be previewing them for you. I'm going to talk first game on the docket for me. Notre Dame versus Navy on 26th, 2:30 p.m. Notre Dame's favored by 20 points. The over-under is 50.5. We'll get to that after a little bit of a preview. Talk about both of these teams. Now, this is his second year for Marcus Freeman. Can he take the next step? And there's a lot of questions going on with the offense. There's a QB shuffle for the last season or two. Buckner's out. Pine's out. And they bring in ACC veteran Sam Hartman. Hartman looked good last year after the health scare. And he obviously looked good in the spring game, and that's why Tyler Buckner is no longer part of the Fighting Irish. He's a part of the Roll Tide. That's a story for another day. Now, my question is, can Hartman take the big howitzer into Dublin, put on a show? Can he, he's on a new team, new offense. Let's see if, he flashed a little bit in the spring game, but it's a spring game, and that is a real game. And you're overseas. So can Hartman take it and continue what we saw towards the end of last season after the blood clot? Now, the wide receiver room, it's young, but they're ready to step up, and they're talented. Tobias Merriweather, big fan. Jaden Greathouse, and also the veteran, Deion Colsey. Which one of them three will come out in Dublin and step up and be Hartman's go-to guy off the rip? Now, this RB room, Augustine has earned RB1. 920 yards and 11 touchdowns. Yes, you are RB1 right now. But watch out. Because my guy, redshirt freshman, G-Brain Payne, I came to bring the pain. I'm going to be a major pain. Went from 5th on the depth chart to 2nd since spring began. Don't let my guy Payne eat, because when he gets in there, he's at the buffet. We talking Ezekiel Elliott gifts. All right. Now on the defensive side of the ball, is a big question. And he went to the NFL, and that's Isaiah Foskey. In a pass rush, he was a demon coming off the edge. Can JJB, Jean Batista, who was a former Buckeye, his 51 total tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 8 sacks in his career at Ohio State, replace Foskey's production on a defensive end? Will the Rover linebacker Jack Kaiser lead the Irish defense versus stout run game for the midshipmen? Now, the secondary has a stud sophomore. That's Benjamin Morris, who had 6 interceptions and 4 pass breakups last year. I mean, in my eyes, he got a little bit of All-American written on him. A little dust on him. We'll see how the season pans out. Now, for the midshipmen, new head coach Brian Newberry is going to have to let the dogs eat early and often. Can he let Dabo Fafano, who had close to 800 yards rushing, Amin Hassan and Fabian France, ground and pound the Irish to sleep and go crush some Guinnesses back at the Dublin pubs? Or with the addition of Grant Chestnut from Kennesaw State as the offensive coordinator, likely mean they're going to be a little wrinkles and a little bit more pass attempts for the midshipmen and a couple different formations that could throw off the Irish defense. Now, for the midshipmen, they're going to need Will Harbour to step up and be that linebacker for them. They had 30 tackles last season, 3.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. He's going to have to be that guy. But the strength of the midshipmen's defense will be in the secondary, the veteran group that'll be led by Beatty Williams, who had 42 tackles and 5 pass breakups, and Raylon Lane, who had 70 tackles in the secondary. My prediction for this, Notre Dame covers the 20, but I'm going to go with under 50.5. Now, next game, a little spot in the hot UMass Minutemen versus New Mexico State. Okay, that's on the 26th at 7 p.m. The Minutemen are getting 7.5, which means the Aggies are favored in this game. Now, you would expect that, but head coach for the Minutemen, Don Brown, is back, and he's bringing the band back together as all his coordinators are back. And as he returns, QB Brady Olson and running back Gino Campanata. 390 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns for the Minutemen last year. They will have to be the catalyst for the Minutemen on Saturday. Now, the Minutemen defense will have the task of slowing down New Mexico State, Tasmanian Devil, QB Diego Paiva. Okay. But can Tyler Rudolph and his 62 tackles and Marcus Bradley apply enough pressure to Paiva to keep it close? Or is it going to be a long, long afternoon for the Minutemen? Now, another head coach in his second year in the program, New Mexico State, that's Jerry Krill, wants to improve on a successful 2022. They went 7-6, okay? Now, UMass is going to have growing pains on the offensive side, right? Mexico is just simply more talented, a deeper team. And to be honest with you, to keep the ball rolling in the progress of what this program has done, they cannot afford to mess around in this game. Give me the Aggies easy over 7.5. Now, this game I like a lot. There's two guys in this game that I think are going to be names that you're going to hear about in college football if you're not just the casual fans. It's Ohio Bobcats versus the San Diego Aztecs. That's on the 26th at 7 p.m. The Aztecs are favored by 3.5. Okay. The over-under is 49. Now, 13 straight non-losing seasons for the Aztecs. Has been a lot of them talks in this new realignment thing. Okay. Last year they were 7-5. They lost two wide receivers, Jesse Matthews and Tyler Chavis. They're gone. But there's plenty of talent in the receiving room. Tight end Mark Redmond, right? Raphael Williams. And this is the guy I like. And I'm calling it now. He's going to step up in this room. Mekhi Shaw. I fully expect Mekhi Shaw to lead the wide receiver room as those two gentlemen I spoke about are gone. But can senior QB Jalen Maiden improve on his sub 60% completion percentage? Only 12 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. That's the key to the Ferrari that the Aztecs are trying to drive. With new offensive coordinator Ryan Lindsay, can he serve as that jolt in the arm for the passing game as he is a fellow Aztec who has played in the NFL for the Cardinals at QB, journeyman QB? He threw for 12,000 yards for the Aztec. Can he bring a little bit more juice, more swagger to this offense, this pass game? I don't know if it's going to be enough to handle the Bobcats. They went 10-4. They won 7 straight to end the season with the MAC East Division Championship after starting 2-3, mind you. They righted the ship and went on a run. And that was behind Curtis York's 69.1% completion, almost 3,300 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, only 4 picks, okay? 240 plus rushing yards. My man averaged 9.2 yards per attempt and 10 air yards per. He won MAC Offensive Player of the Year even after he had an ACL injury and only played 11 games. Now, obviously, football runs in the pedigree. His brother Nathan York is a CFL legend and is having success for the Jaguars. We've seen him put on a little show against the Cowboys and get out of that pack and throw for a touchdown. Listen, Curtis Rourke is a name that people need to get familiar with, because I think Curtis Rourke is a guy that could get hot this year. He got an ACL injury at the end of last year, and he's starting week 1. Like, I don't hear all these running backs say, we're going to have to ease him in slow. My man says, hold my coffee. I'm going in, coach. All right? And he got a dog to throw the ball to, and Sam Wigglers was coming off a 74-catch season, right? 877 yards, 11 touchdowns. My man averaged 12 yards per catch. Wigglers gets wiggly out in the middle of the field, and Rourke knows how to hit him. I think there's going to be too much Bobcats in this game. I think the Bobcats are trying to make a statement early this season. And I think Curtis Rourke is the name you're going to hear about. For a lot of college football, you're going to hear about him Senior Bowl. And I think there's a chance that Curtis Rourke could get himself into a later round NFL draft pick. I'm going to put the stamp on that now. Give me the Bobcats in an upset in this one over 49. All right, and the last game we're going to talk about on CFB Prime, Week 0 preview, San Jose State Spartans versus USC Trojans. That's at 8 p.m. on the 26th. The Trojans are a 34.5 point favorite, and the over-under is 64.5. Okay. King Caleb, 11-3, 8-1 in the Pac-12, Heisman Trophy winner. The real question is, can Caleb go back to back? I think that's more of the question than will he go number one in the NFL draft. But they're putting the pieces in play to keep King Caleb wearing the crown. They added protection up front with the additions of Jarrett Kingston, Emmanuel Pregnon, Michael Tarkin, all transfers. The wide receiver room loaded. Now, Dorian Singer Anderson in the program for the absence of Jordan Addison. And while many still believe in Mario Williams, give me all of the Brendan Rice stocks I can get my hands on now. The apple does not fall far from the tree, my friends. His daddy is the best wide receiver to ever play this game in Jerry Rice. And Brendan Rice went on a 6-game run to end the year last year to let you know, listen, I got that juice. I got that swagger. And I'm coming for wide receiver 2 position, maybe even wide receiver 1 position this next season. Now, if that wasn't enough, they went out and hit home run after home run after home run in the recruiting class with Zachary Branch, Makai Lemon, and whether he be wide receiver or tight end, Deuce Robinson, all entering the receiving room. That is absolutely silly, folks. The Trojans are loaded for a few years to come. They added Marshawn Lloyd, South Carolina, the running back room. Now they have a healthy Austin Jones to go along with, the sophomore Malik Brown who flashed, at the end of the season and against Tulane. Listen, they are going to allow Caleb to feast and captain this offense. Now, the defense for USC has been ugly. For a very long time, as Bubba Sparks would say, ugly. Now, they have addressed a lot of the issues, right? They went out and got Georgia Bulldog D-end Bear Alexander. And they also went out and got Oklahoma State Cowboys linebacker Mason Cobb, who had almost 100 tackles last year, kind of popped on the scene. I think Cobb's going to be a good addition for this defense, but is it going to be enough, right? Is it enough to get the bad taste out of them all on how the season ended? We'll circle back. Now, as for the Spartans, 24 wins over the past 4 years under head coach Brent Brennan. Okay, I see you, but listen, it isn't going to be that type of fight. There's no 300 in here. There's no Sparta kicking people in a hole. All right, this is not happening. The QB room is undecided for Spartans, with Butterfield coming over and entering the picture, Morgan State. And then you have senior Chevron Cordero, who threw for career high last year, almost 3,300 yards, 23 touchdowns. But for me, I think it's the key to this game for San Jose State. If they're going to be able to get this offense open and going, I think it's going to go behind the running back. That's going to be Kari Robinson, who had 10 rushing touchdowns for the Spartans. It could cause some troubles for the Trojans. I think they might be fearing and have a little bit of flashbacks of my guy Tajay Spears in the Cotton Bowl last year. They couldn't stop anything that Tajay was running. They couldn't stop anyone running the ball for the Tulane Green Wave. Now, Spartan defense allowed 330-plus yards of offense and 68 plays, which just seems like a perfect script for the Trojans to go off. Now, with that being said, 34.5 points is a lot. I do believe the Trojans cover the 34.5, but I'm going under because I don't see many points coming from the Spartans after the first quarter. This is week 0. We have college football, people. This is CFB Prime. We were doing 2 days. We're going on 1 day, and that's because we're bringing the band back together. I'm not going to make the announcement. I'm going to let someone else make the announcement. But we got something special coming. Monday, Tuesday is going to change up a little bit. I'm Nino Brown. It's CFB Prime. We got college football. Blow the damn whistle.